We shot this video while we were camped near Ajo, Arizona last February, and I kind of misplaced it. So this is out of sequence. But I think that the message about traveling and keeping things simple is a good one. I hope you enjoy it. Linda and I just did a video on wintering in Arizona. And we come down here almost every year. We try to anyway, unless something else gets in the way. But this is the place to be come winter, not Montana or Minnesota or Michigan or Wisconsin, or you get my drift. It's better to be down here where it's nice and warm. I got a little bit of sunburn on my back yesterday, and this is February. So it's nice down here. The thing is, though, that when you think of coming down to winter in Arizona, you think of snowbirders and you think, well, they must be wealthy, or it's nice to have all that money coming in every month so they can afford to do that. Or you tend to think of people that can come to Arizona in the wintertime as being well-to-do. And let me tell you, that's not the case. In this case, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And that's what this video is about. I want to tell you about how you can afford to come down here too. The point of this video is to explain the different ways of traveling down here and living, whether it be the desert, which we happen to love, or Florida, or someplace other, some southern Texas, I don't know, but someplace where it's warmer. And the different ways of coming down here, some are better than others. And it's not what you think. If you've been watching our channel, you know that we prefer to have a four-wheel drive tow vehicle and a small single axle trailer. This works fine for us. It may not work fine for you. And the reason we drive a vehicle like this is because, well, we prefer to camp in areas that are pretty remote. We just like to get back off the main beaten track and into areas like this. But folks like to come out here in all kinds of different outfits. Everything from pup tents to teardrops to Class C motorhomes, vans, fifth wheelers, you name it. And there's room for everybody. Some people like to be like us and camp very remotely. Other people like to camp around other people. People camp a little closer by. So whether you decide to camp by yourself or with a group of friends or just a group of like-minded people, yeah, you can do that down here. This is referred to as boondocking. Some people don't understand why anyone would want to camp in the desert. Those are usually people that have never done it. But you can always go to Florida or maybe southern Texas or Padre Island or someplace like that. Once you've camped in the desert down here, though, it seems to grow on you. You discover what abundant life there is here, and you start appreciating just how different it is and how everything manages to survive. So the smaller your outfit, the more capable it is, the further you can get back off the main road and have a little peace and quiet, a little spot to yourself. And that's the way we prefer it. So what kind of outfit, as we call them in Montana, you decide to travel with, it depends on more than just how much money you got in your pocket. There's nothing nicer than a big, beautiful motorhome or a really nice fifth wheeler, and all the air conditioning and just the systems on board, the furnace and all those nice things. Those are nice to have. And I love getting invited over to somebody's camp that has an outfit like that, because it's nice to sit on a sofa and have a cold drink with ice in it. And I like that. That's very nice. But the more complicated your RV is, the more money you got to have in your pocket to take care of it. And it's either that, or you have to have a lot of expertise and a lot of tools with you to take care of it yourself. You see, the more complicated it is, the more things are possibly going to go wrong while you're on the road. Case in point, we have a friend here right now whose furnace isn't working, and it's looking like this is the end of his trip. I know it gets to 75, 80 degrees here during the day, but it also gets to 40 at night, and that's what it is when you get up in the morning. So you need that furnace. It's looking like he's going to turn around and go back home. That's too bad. Another case in point. Back when Linda and I first got married, we were really into sailing. This is like the mid-1970s, in the days before GPS, before we had ways to communicate that didn't cost an arm and a leg. We bought an old fiberglass sailboat that had the right design. It was designed to go, for ocean cruising, but it was only 28 feet. Didn't have a radio, didn't have radar, didn't have satellite communication because it didn't exist. Didn't have satellite positioning because that didn't exist. It was very simple. Didn't have refrigeration, couldn't afford it, that took up a lot of space back then. And it required you to run your engine for like an hour a day to keep the refrigerator chilled down. Well, we didn't have that kind of money. And so we went very simply. When we got to places, like I remember being in Pongo Pongo, American Samoa, and we sailed in there, nothing wrong with our boat, and the other vessels, including the big fancy crude yachts, were all doing repairs. They were waiting on parts to be shipped to them. We were free to go explore the island and meet the people. Being simple turned out to be the very best thing, and we never forgot that. The more complicated the boats that were in there, the more things that they just had to repair, and it cost them a lot of money too. Us, we were free to do whatever we wanted to do. It's the same thing here. That's the way we outfitted this little trailer. It's very simple. People may think that this is luxury. Well, it is to us. But for example, there's a propane furnace inside. No moving parts, you just light the burner. There's refrigeration inside. It's a 12-volt compressor refrigerator. Those work extremely well. This one's been going for a couple of years, almost continuously. But if it goes bad, I can just lift it out and bring something back in and replace it. There's no built-in systems. There's no 110 electrical system in here that needs to be plugged in. Where are we going to plug it in? There's no place to plug in out here. The most complex thing on this trailer is the solar panels on the roof and the controller that charge the batteries. It's just components. If something goes out, it's going to be just that one component, and I can just screw another one on the wall and hook the wires to it. That's all there is to it. Nothing is built in and complex. And then there's the toilet. We use an Ogo composting toilet. We've had it for over 2 years, zero problems. Yeah, they're expensive, but not in the long run. And it's more like having a toilet at home. There's no odor or anything. So we don't have black tanks and pumps, and we don't have to stop places at filthy places where everybody's dumping their toilet. We don't have to do that. It's very clean and simple. But that's the key word. It's simple. But enough about this outfit, because the subject here is how you can come down here and spend the winter. We see a lot of ladies, well, a lot of men too, they buy these ProMaster vans that are all outfitted, or, Sprinters, and I like those. I wouldn't mind having one of those myself, especially the shorter four-wheel drive models. That would be really cool. One thing that they run into a problem with on those, some of them are powered with Mercedes diesels, and then that means you got to take it to a Mercedes shop, or it might void your warranty, and you don't want that to happen either. But once again, maybe that suits you, your lifestyle. Maybe you don't want to come out here where it's real remote. There are all kinds of RV parks down here where you can buy your spot for the season. It's not that expensive, relatively speaking. I mean, I'm talking about the people that can afford a fifth wheeler or a ProMaster or an RV of that type. But we see plenty of people down here in homemade teardrop trailers, in cargo trailers like ours, where they've put cots in and built a little counter, and they've just done what they needed to do to make it comfortable for them. For single people, you can get away with a 5x8 cargo trailer, because it's plenty big enough. You can get them with a little more headroom too, or sometimes they're not too tall, but it's all in what you get used to. But you build a bunk on one side and a counter on the other side, and they can be very comfortable. And you can tow a 5x8 cargo trailer behind just about anything. And you can get a Subaru Forester or something like that and still be able to come out these back roads and tow that little vehicle. And speaking of that, you don't even need a trailer. There's a lot of people out here that just sleep in their vehicles. And they'll take like the Toyota Priuses were famous for that because they were so big in the back. There's plenty of room for a bed. Anything you can build a bed into, you can come out here and camp very comfortably. I mean, look at us down here living like rich people. We're definitely not. So the point here is that if you could afford a nice outfit, I think that's great. I mean, a big RV and all those comforts. Just remember, you're going to have to spend a little more money on keeping it up while you're on the road, and any repairs or anything, you're going to have to find a place to do it. Unless which is another thing that a friend of ours brought up yesterday. He says, to really enjoy this lifestyle, it's nice if you can fix some things yourself.
Either you have to be able to fix it yourself or have a bigger savings put aside for those incidents.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So that just means that the simpler your rig that you come down here in, the better off you're going to be.
What's that phrase? K.I.S.S?
Keep it simple, stupid. That's exactly right. And that brings us back to the point here, is that the more basic your RV is that you come down here in, the more time you're going to have to spend just enjoying the place and not doing upkeep on it. Keep it simple. So we see people down here having a very nice time just sleeping in the back of their pickup truck with a canopy on the back. That's it. It's just, that works. Whatever works for you anyway. Point is here, if you're sitting at home right now and it's freezing cold outside, like it is where we're from, come on down to Arizona or down to the southern states. Just make a road trip. Throw some camping gear in the back of the car if you have to, but come on down and enjoy the warmth. You don't have to stay there. You can get out. Just break those chains and get on down here. You know, for those of you, though, that are unable to get out, we do thank you guys for coming along and watching our videos as we enjoy the warmth down here. And I hope that brings a little warmth to your heart, too. And hey, if you like the video, please like, share,
subscribe.
See you around.